Hey everyone, this is James, and this is March 15th, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is BTC USDT. It's a 4-hour chart of Bitcoin on the Binance exchange if you want the to follow along on the numbers and so forth. Anyway, so what I like to start out with is first, this is not investment advice. Second of all, I like to go over the overall trend, where we've come from. That's obviously a downtrend that we've broken out of. We've tried to use it as a springboard, but you can see that we're still on the same frequency, so it's not a good thing at all. Also, we are still putting in the larger picture lower highs, even though the last one was marginally lower, but this could potentially be another lower high to more downside. So we'll break it down and go over it shortly. What I like to also show is that the volatility, you can see how red hot the market was, the wild swings, and then you can see what's occurred over here. The market looks like it's slowly withering away. The volatility smoothed out. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the end of Bitcoin, but when you look at these two pictures, they're obviously two different pictures, you know, and you can clearly see that. So there's not, I don't really have to spend too much time explaining it, but and then also what we can see here is just price curling over in the bigger picture. We can also see that price is still adhering to the negative downtrend frequency. This negative slope right here, the red slope, is literally identical to the gray slope that you can probably hardly see on your phone, but if you are watching on your mobile. But the reason why I have that gray one there is just as a reminder of where we were, and you can literally see the similarities. The slopes are literally identical. So this is a negative sign for price. The only positive sign about it is if price can break out. However, it seems that every single breakout in Bitcoin is obviously sold off, even though we can get a couple-day rally, up to a week rally, and then it is brutally beaten down. So we had the consolidation that I talked about, right? And I said when that consolidation broke, it was going to break heavily to one side, and it broke down. So we can see what happened. We broke down from about, I think we were in like about the peak of it was about 9,900, and we broke all the way down to 7,600. Now, I do not think necessarily this is the end. I think we may have a little rally upward just to relieve some of this stress, and then come back down, possibly for either a lower low or a higher low. So we'll soon see. You know, this is a 4-hour chart, so it takes a lot of time for price to move through time and space. As price moves through time and space, if we cannot break about the 8,400 range, that might be about the peak of the run, about 8,400, 8,500. Depends on how fast we spike up. You know, Bitcoin, this thing can spike up and down 1,000 points, no problem at all. So given how fast we move into time and space, it could ultimately, you know, determine on whether that top figure is 84, 85, 86, and then from there a possible rollover for again a higher low or a lower low. So we'll see from there. I know a lot of people are out there calling for a 6,000 bottom. At least that's what I hear now, is that there's a lot of people out there saying we're going down to here, we're going to retest for a big double bottom. I don't know necessarily if that's true. If we start heading back down with this much pressure and a little relief, I think we'll blow through the 6,000 easy. However, I do think that if we do hit that 6,000, there would obviously be a rally that would be a little suckers rally, and obviously more downside from there. What I'm more inclined to think now is that this area may be a bottoming area or somewhere very close if price is going to hold the higher low. So if we do break through this, right, and we do it in a rapid fashion like we've been seeing, then I think we're definitely going much lower than 6,000. So we'll see what happens. You know, every single day you got to take it day by day. But what I can tell you is that we are putting in, you know, when we look at the grand picture, we can see this. Let me outline this. I'm going to do one in blue. That way there's a nice visual for everybody. Okay, I cut off a little bit of price there, but it's fine. I think everybody understands what I'm doing. And let me just trace the bottoms with pink. So if we go below 6 or hit 6, you can obviously see what is going to occur. The price is flowing downward like a river going off a waterfall, essentially. if we break back down, there's a higher probability we bust out 6,000 than there is we hit it, reverse, and somehow magically create a higher high. We may create a little guppy rally to sucker early bulls in, but I highly doubt, based on just analyzing the overall structure of price, that if we do head back down to this level, will we hold it? Okay, so what I've been calling for in almost every single one of my videos is obviously a higher high. I mean, a higher low is what I mean. From that higher low, we would get more of a subtle slope that price would rise up against, like you would see something in the stock market, in the fiat markets, etc., to bring integrity to the cryptocurrency market. So something like this, let's say we just dip a little bit lower, go maybe 7,300, 7,000 range, and then you have a nice subtle slope like this, okay? You can't really do much in a market where the swings are like this, like imagine if the dollar or whatever your currency is did wild swings like this. How could the market possibly have integrity when literally in just a couple days you could literally be up 20-30%, and then tomorrow you could be down 20-30%. Imagine going to the grocery store trying to buy a loaf of bread. You wouldn't know if you would go broke, trying to buy that loaf of bread, or if you'd be mega rich, the next day. So it's just there's a lot of insane movement in a market that is used as primarily like a fiat alternative. Like obviously there's many uses for cryptocurrency. Okay, so I'm not going to go in that discussion because it'd be like a very long video, but anyways, this is my logical reasoning behind calling for a higher low to a market that, if it is going to survive, would need to obviously do. If we continue going lower under the 6,000 range, what do you think that's going to do to a market that is experienced a bubble phase? Everybody's freaked out. Either people are holding, hoping that it turns around, like the media is saying, to 25, 50, 100,000. People are calling for $1 million, I think, later this year. Like, come on, man. Like, how could you even logically do that? But anyways, the point is that if we break down below the 6,000 range, it is going to be like a axe to the cycle, to the head of investors, because it would absolutely destroy this market if we started heading much lower from here. It would give us no uptrend structure at all. Everything would be 100% downward, and at that point, who knows where the true bottom is? All right, if we are consistently making lower lows and lower highs, all right, there's no way we're going to know the bottom, and it could just continue. Who knows how deep this could possibly go if we do break that 6,000 range, okay? I'm not going to speculate on a price beyond 6,000. Obviously, the only thing I can tell you is that it will be bad. It will be very bad for this market if we do that. So if we can create a nice higher low, like this slope is showing, this green slope, doesn't necessarily have to be in the 7,300. It could be somewhere like this, but just so you can visualize my logical reasoning for calling for a higher low to a market that, if it's going to survive, it would need to do in order to kind of turn this ship around, but at a nice, slow and steady pace for slow and steady growth, instead of wild and crazy activity like this. Like you don't even know what Bitcoin's going to do intraday, let alone into the overnight. I mean, it's absolutely insane to think that this would be a fiat alternative if literally one night, your wealth is up like 5%, and then you wake up in the morning and you're literally down like 15%. Like, how insane is that? Okay, and I know that's one small element, but anyways, that's my logical reasoning. That's more of the big picture. That's just me just touching on it, okay? I'm not going to get into a really in-depth video because I'd be here forever trying to talk about everything here. But anyways, that's pretty much it. Right now we're kind of in a limbo stage. You can obviously see that we are following the same exact negative frequency as the prior downtrend, okay? This is not a good sign. If we cannot break out of it, we will bust that 6,000 low. We will head lower is what I meant to say. If we do break out, though, we would need to not only break the 8,400 zone, but we would need to break about the 9,300, 9,400 zone, and then consistently trade above that zone. If we re-enter this, it will be bad for the market. So we may have a low here based on this blue line set. Obviously, the orange line set is now acting as a resistance, so the support now becomes the resistance. That's just basic technical analysis. But anyways, we'll see what happens. I'll do my next video this evening. If we start to roll over from here, it's going to be a negative sign, and we could easily slide into the low 7,000s, which isn't a very far call from here because it's only literally about 1,000 points. So I hope everybody has a great day or a great evening, depending on where you are in the world. I thank you for your support. Sorry for some of the rambling, but I just want to get my points across so people understand where I'm logically coming from, and I'm not just spewing stuff out there. Okay, I try to leave all the hype out. I try to stay as objective as possible on all these videos for everybody to take advantage of. What I can tell you is that those calls for 25, 50,000, 100,000, 1 million by the end of the year, I don't know where people are pulling that out of. Okay, we're going to take it day by day. There's no hype here. I'm not here to attract a bunch of followers. I'm just here to help people understand the price action in the cryptocurrency market, because I know a lot of people got caught by the media, and the media is literally like the #1 culprit of disinformation. Okay, and I know that is probably going to get me banned on the social media sites, but it really is. All right, investing tens of millions of dollars myself, learning from people that are investing hundreds of millions to hundreds of billions of dollars. Not a single one of them ever relied on the media. Not a single one. Okay, so that's from my own personal history over 9 years of trading. About almost 5 of that was professionally, maybe 4. It was professionally. All right, I exited, but the thing is that I've never once come across anyone who said they've used the media to make their investment decisions. Now, maybe they knew somebody on the inside and they made a decision from there. That's walking the gray area of insider trading, but never once. Okay, some of the top traders I've learned from and I know have never used the media. They use their own analysis, they stick to their analysis, and that's it. They cut through all the crap, because I'm telling you, the whole idea behind the retail trader is to keep the retail trader, which is anybody with a portfolio less than $500,000 trading in the market, is to keep them confused at all times. Okay, and you see that in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's a madhouse of people who are either professional traders in the Asian markets or domestic markets, and these guys know exactly how to whip price around to create a frenzy, and that is what exactly they've done. You couple that with the media that is giving people attention that should not be given attention to, and they're out there talking about these pie-in-the-sky figures, and what do you think that's going to do to the average individual out there who's looking to get rich quick so they can get out of their low-income job or whatever their situation is? And the media is out there saying, oh yeah, just throw your money in here, it's going to go to $1 million by the end of the year, it's only trading at 8 grand. Like who in the right mind wouldn't say, like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds like a good investment? And obviously you can see what happened, man. People got destroyed. So that's why I do these videos. People got destroyed here when CNBC and every other media outlet out there, maybe I shouldn't specifically call them out, maybe it wasn't exactly CNBC, right? But you get what I'm saying. Everybody at the top of this party was screaming, oh, this is the greatest place in the world to buy. All right, sometimes they had the flip segment too, but honestly, where they give most of the attention to all the crazy people who are literally saying the space aliens were going to come down and bring Bitcoin to like $1 trillion, and everybody was going to be mega rich on the planet. And that's literally the insanity that has unfolded in this market. So that was the whole logical reasoning behind me starting this YouTube channel and various other social media outlets, was to explain this price action. And maybe I shouldn't say some of this stuff, because I imagine I could get a ban hammer pretty quick, disclosing anything alternative to the mainstream mindset. But Anyways, that's it for today. Sorry for the little rant at the end, but that's the reason why I do this. And I can tell you, never once, even people managing hundreds of billions of dollars, right, have they relied on the media. Everything is by their own analysis. Now, these guys are obviously really good traders, right? But what I'm saying is you got to cut through the noise. You got to focus on the day, what's happening on the daily picture. You can look at the bigger picture if you want, the intraday picture, whatever you want to do, you do. But you just cut the noise out, cut the crap out. But anyways, I'm doing these videos just to help people. So if you do like it, subscribe, follow, share, comment, anything. Did not mean to make this video so long. I hope everybody has a great day or great evening.